It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood and everything is rather nice. It's a sunny day. We've got a little bit of cloud, but it is quite nice. Here we go. Yes, it is another English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, I don't believe it. It's England. Oh, there you are. Hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you feeling happy? I hope you are feeling happy. At least I want to see that smile on your face right now. So we are all going to practice smiling right now. It is the first thing we are doing today. There it is. Smile. I was saying last night to Mr. Steve, it is amazing how the smallest thing can change a person's day. Perhaps you are walking down the road and you see someone coming towards you and they don't look very happy. Perhaps you can give them a smile. A little rosy, radiant smile. And you never know, you might make their day and cheer them up a lot. Here we go then. Yes, my name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am one of those up there. I am an English addict and I don't care. Who knows? I will go outside and I will shout it as loud as I can so all my neighbours can hear me. Talking of sounds, you might notice today I have decided to bring some of the spring sounds into the studio. So you might notice and there it is. That is the sound outside at the moment. I couldn't resist bringing some of the springtime sounds. Yes, we are approaching spring. At the end of this month, the clocks will change and then the days will be really long and spring will have officially arrived. If you remember last week, we were looking in the garden, weren't we? We were looking around the garden and around the area, and I did mention a certain type of plant, a certain type of flower, in fact, called a forsythia. Well, guess what? Yesterday, I noticed in the garden that they are actually now coming out. Look at that. And that was something I filmed yesterday. So as you can see, the forsythia in the garden is now starting to come into bloom. All of the little yellow flowers are starting to come out. And, well, all I can say is when you see the forsythia starting to come out, you know that spring has virtually arrived. You know that spring is now definitely in the air. So there it is, right now in the garden, growing my lovely forsythia. It is now coming into bloom. The beautiful yellow flowers are starting to appear. So I'm pretty pleased about that. It really does feel now as if spring is in the air. Springtime, one of my most favourite times of year because nature goes crazy. It really does. Nature starts to do all sorts of things. The plants will come out, the flowers will open, the animals will go a little bit love crazy, let's just say. They will start pairing up and mating, and then, well, especially the birds. Around here, many of the birds will start building their nests and preparing to have their chicks That's what I was going to say. It didn't come out right, I know. Here we go. Yes, we've made it all the way to Sunday. The end of the week, the end of the weekend. We've made it all the way here without blowing ourselves up. For now. I don't know if you know, but Mr. Steve has a new habit. Steve has a new habit that he's been doing over the last maybe 2 or 3 months. He started listening to James Last. If you've never heard of James Last, he is a famous band leader and also a composer as well. Very, very popular during the 70s and maybe the 1980s. I would call it big band music, but also I would call it jazzy music. In fact, James Last is known for playing lots of different styles of music. His band and also himself, he is the conductor of the James Last Orchestra, and Steve has gone absolutely crazy over James Last. So every night, picture the scene, imagine this, I have to listen to Mr. Steve upstairs in his music room playing non-stop James Last for about 1 hour every single night. And this is while he is doing his exercises, you see. And can you imagine the look on my face? Well, I will tell you. I will tell you the look on my face. I will show you right now what I do. That's it. That's exactly what I do. That's the look on my face when Mr. Steve is upstairs playing James Last. That's exactly what I'm doing. Here we go then. Yes, it is Sunday. It is almost halfway through. We have almost reached halfway through March. And as I said, it really does feel as if spring is in the air. Very nice, in fact. Great to see you here today. The live chat is already busy. Who was first on today's live chat? I am just checking the list. Oh, very interesting. Today, on the live chat, in first place, it is Partridge Aves. Congratulations to you, Partridge. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations. Many people now joining in. Today we have lots of things coming up. I've got some photographs to show you. I have a little video that I took yesterday on my walk with Mr. Steve. And what else have we got coming up? Oh, yes. Today's subject is all about nose, phrases, words, idioms, lots of things connected to this small thing in the middle of your face. Something you quite often don't even take any notice of until things go wrong with it. Normally you don't think very much about your nose. Your nose is there right in front of you. In fact, you might say that it is as plain as the nose on your face. Something very clear, something that is easy to see. We can describe it as being as plain as the nose on your face. So there it is, a free one. I thought I would just throw that in to get you in the mood for all of the wonderful nose phrases that we have coming up later on. Can I also say hello to who else is on the live chat? We have a very busy one already. Hello Valentin, hello Beatrice, hello also to Vitas, hello also to Mohammed Sanu. Hello to you. Thank you for joining me today. Edith, Maria, we also have Palmyra and Maria. Claudia is here. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you here today. And I'm so glad to hear that you are feeling much better after your drama. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will say now we do not have Luis Mendez is not here today. Luis is busy with his family. He's doing something. I think they're having a special dinner, a dinner party. So that is the reason why Luis is not here today. Hello, Mega. Hello also to Manish. Hello, Manish. Manish Kunar. Nice to see you here as well. Sumit. Hello, Sumit Patil. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time here? If it is, please let me know. If you've never seen this before and you are wondering what this is all about, well, I talk about the English language, but please don't go away. Don't click off, because this is also something that might be interesting to everyone. So you don't have to be learning English to enjoy this, you see. If you have a sense of humour, then you are more than welcome to join in. By the way, if you don't have a sense of humour, this might not be the best place to be, because we like to have a lot of fun here, you see. Hello, Umberto. Hello, Umberto, watching in Brazil. Nice to see you as well. So I was out and about yesterday, walking around with Mr. Steve, enjoying some springtime weather. In fact, I managed to do quite a good walk yesterday. 10,500 steps yesterday. That's pretty good, I think, for one day. 10,500 steps I did yesterday, so I'm feeling rather pleased about that. So here it is, a video taken yesterday. You will see some sights on the farmland, and also I decided to take some clips, some video clips of one or two of the trees that have fallen down during the recent storms. Lots and lots of fallen trees around the area in which I live. it was, a video that I shot yesterday whilst out and about walking with Mr. Steve, and we did have a rather nice time. We might talk about that a little bit later on. Mr. Steve will be here in around about 10 minutes from now, so don't forget, yes, you can join in. And a lot of people have written to me over the past few months saying, Mr. Duncan, we love Mr. Steve. In fact, we prefer having Mr. Steve on the live chat instead of you. I might be a little bit offended by that. I might be upset by it, but it's okay. I will carry on. Just because you prefer to have Mr. Steve rather than me, am I going to get upset? Am I going to become angry? No, I will try to keep my control. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see so many people here today. Hello to the School of the Future. And that is what it translates to from French. Hello to you. Have a good time wherever you are. If you are in France, if you are in Spain, if you are in Brazil, wherever you are in the world, you are more than welcome to join in today. Hello also Beatrice, who says, such a beautiful video, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. A lot of people have been asking about the garden. Mr. Duncan, what about the garden? Well, the garden is coming on rather nicely. Some of the flowers are coming out. We have daffodils. We have one or two trees that are now starting to show their blossom. And I might show you some of that next week. It's a little bit too early, because everything is still just coming out. It is still emerging. So I think we will wait for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And then, yes, I will show you some of the views in the garden. Can I say thank you very much? Talking of flowers, can I say thank you to Claudia for your lovely photographs that you sent? First of all, thank you, Claudia, for the picture of the daffodils. One of the things I love to see, especially whilst walking around, maybe in areas where you wouldn't expect to see flowers growing. And look there, some beautiful daffodils growing by the side of the road. And that's one of the things I love about daffodils. They can grow virtually anywhere. I have noticed this over the years, that daffodils can grow almost anywhere. Something else that's green that Claudia has taken a picture of. Thank you, Claudia, for this parrot. Apparently, this parrot was flying around. I think it might be a parrot or a parakeet. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. But that's a beautiful bird, very exotic, may I say. Very. We don't get many of those in our garden. That's all I can say. So perhaps where you live, maybe they are frequent visitors to your garden. But around here where I live, we don't get many parrots flying around. Although I do remember a few years ago, I did actually have a parrot. I think it was a red-crested or red-crowned parakeet in the garden many years ago, and I was really surprised to see it. I think maybe that particular parrot that was in my garden, perhaps it had escaped from someone's cage. I think so. And finally we have a photograph from Luis Mendez. Thank you, Lewis, for your photograph. And I believe this is Helle Park on a beautiful spring day whilst Lewis was having a walk around. So I do like seeing your photographs. Don't worry, don't be shy. If you want to send a photograph, something that you've taken, a picture, then feel free to do so. Send it to me. You can send it to my email address. I'm in a good mood today. I don't know why, but maybe it's because spring is in the air. I think so. The parrot looks like he is smiling. He does look happy. I've noticed that. Certain animals always look happy. I always think that dogs always look as if they're smiling. However, if you've ever seen a rabbit, rabbits always look worried and unhappy. Have you noticed that? You never see a happy-looking rabbit. They always look slightly worried. Mr. Steve will be with us in a few moments. We will be joined in the studio live by Mr. Steve. He might not be here next week because I think Steve is going to visit his mother next week. So we might not actually have Mr. Steve next Sunday, unfortunately, because it's Mother's Day here in the UK. But he will be with us today, so please make the most of it because you might not have him next week. Taking us there, we have an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. There are lots of English lessons on my YouTube channel, and this is one of them. And then after this, Mr. Steve is here.
Are you learning English? Do you find it difficult to remember words and their definitions? Well, guess what? You are going through the most normal part of learning anything. Grasping something new is not easy at first, but don't worry because help is at hand. My full English lessons will make learning English a doddle. It will become as easy as pie. From now on, it will be a piece of cake, which means easy. I will help you overcome your worries and fears of mastering English. In fact, you are doing it right now, just by watching this video. Welcome to another full English video lesson. I'm happy to see you here, watching me, teaching you. So without any more dilly-dallying or idle chit-chat, let's get on with today's full English lesson right now. Do you ever hear someone make a statement that seems hard to believe? Has anyone ever said something to you that you found hard to accept as true? This might happen when someone is trying to impress you with something they have done, a thing they saw or something that happened to them that seems unlikely. There are many ways of expressing the reaction of disbelief. You doubt what the person is telling you is true. You question the facts, or you find what was said questionable and hard to believe. You are uncertain as to what was said is in fact true. We sometimes like to exaggerate or embellish an event or achievement. You might find what was said hard to swallow. He claims to have been to university, but I find that hard to swallow. In this sentence, we are expressing doubt about the claim. There is a good chance that the claim is false. If you find something hard to swallow, then you are expressing doubt. You feel as if the statement is false and untrue. You find it hard to swallow. Another great expression refers to taking something with a pinch of salt. Again, the thing being said is hard to believe. His claims that he lived in Hollywood for a few years should be taken with a pinch of salt. The thing said seems unlikely. It seems as if the person is telling a lie. We might accuse someone of being full of crap or full of shit. You never went to university. You are full of crap. The thing being said might be described as bullshit. An untrue statement or false claim can be described as bullshit. Or, if you want to be polite, we can say that someone is full of it. He never went to university. He is full of it. An official statement or declaration that seems untrue can be described as inaccurate or misleading. To accuse someone of lying can be described as calling someone out. The person lying has been revealed to be a fraud. A false claim can be described as fraudulent. The company was punished for the fraudulent claims about their product. In everyday life, we might make the occasional claim that is slightly exaggerated. To make something seem better or worse than it was is a normal part of social interaction. However, these claims can sometimes get you into deep trouble. To be revealed as a liar or cheat is damaging. So as long as the claims made are not too bizarre or damaging, then we are often willing to look the other way. We accept that sometimes a person is not being completely honest with us. An outlandish claim or wild story that seems unlikely will often be taken with a pinch of salt. What is it to express yourself? How do we define those little signals that we give off? Do we really have control of what we give away about ourselves? When we say express yourself, we mean that you show the way you feel, your interest in or reaction to something. You can express yourself in two ways, by doing or by saying. Doing normally means a physical action using your body. Maybe the expression on your face will change, but you say nothing. You pull a face. Or you might show your reaction by doing something physical. You might become agitated and wave your arms with frustration or anger. You might react passively and walk away. We call these reactions body language. You might express yourself by saying something directly. This is not subtle. This is direct communication. You are expressing yourself using words and the tone of your voice. You might even use bad language and swear. I have never heard him swear before. He must have been furious. You might just say what you feel without cursing or swearing. Perhaps you will shout and yell. Or the opposite might occur, and your voice may become very soft and hard to understand. So direct action using movement and speech are the two most obvious ways of expressing yourself. You may not realize it, but we actually use body language all the time. Even when we are sitting still and saying nothing, we are sending out messages to other people. For example, if you are sitting near a person you like, then your body language will show it. And of course, if you are near someone you don't like, then your body language will also express it. I can see by the way you are sitting that you don't want to know me. When we are looking for a partner, then body language is very important. You want the other person to know you are attracted to them. There are many ways to get the attention of a possible mate, but out of all the possible methods, body language is still the best. We call this particular action flirting. Both men and women are capable of this. You could say that it is a part of nature, just like the wild animals in the jungle. So the next time you are sitting on a train or enjoying a party or just walking through town, remember, you are always giving off signals to other people. Your body language is always sending out those subliminal signals that have the ability to give away what is really going on in your mind.
Yes, we have the sounds of nature today. Springtime is now arriving. It's official. So there are some sounds coming through with today's live stream, and that is the sound of springtime in England. Here he comes.
Hello. Hello, lovely viewers from across the world. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Not that I haven't seen you recently, but I'll say hello again anyway.
We did pass each other in the kitchen this morning.
We did. That is true. Because, of course, Mr. Duncan is so busy preparing for the live stream, we just sort of cross very quickly and don't speak.
That's it.
And that's just on a normal day.
Yes, we don't speak to each other unless it's absolutely necessary. So it's nice to see you back, Steve. Now, I believe next weekend you are going to see your mummy.
No, it's the weekend afterwards.
Oh, the weekend afterwards.
Everyone's getting confused in the UK about Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
It's the What, is that what it's called? Mother's Day, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming. It's the 27th.
Yes.
Okay, so not next weekend. I'm afraid Mr. Steve will be here with us next weekend, but the weekend after, maybe not.
No, I will be, because I'm not going to see my mother on Mother's Day.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to see her on the Saturday before, on the 26th.
So we won't be losing you.
I could have got away with it then.
Yeah.
I could have said, yes, I'm going. Damn. Never mind. Okay. No, because my sister is seeing my mother on the Sunday, and I'm going to see my mother on the Saturday.
Okay.
It's not Mother's Day, but it just means that she'll have a weekend with both of us. Because going on the Sunday, they're going out for a meal. It's going to be late.
Okay. I wasn't expecting all of the actual engagements and plans.
I don't want to go and visit my mother on Mother's Day because my sister's arranged to go out with them for a meal in the evening, and it's nearly 2 hours drive, so I don't want to be late back on Sunday.
I'm sure this is fascinating for you out there. But you are here next week and the week after. We will not be losing Mr. Steve at all. We have him 100%. That's amazing. So it's nice to be here. We've had some nice questions come through. Can you please tell us the phrase that means you are relaxed? And it's connected to the cucumber. You are as cool as a cucumber. If you are as cool as a cucumber, it means you are relaxed. You are not becoming stressed or worried by anything. You are as cool as a cucumber.
Yes, we can often say that to express what we mean by somebody who is just very relaxed. Or you can say it about yourself. People often say that about themselves. Somebody might say, how are you feeling today? Or I'm feeling chilled. I'm feeling as cool as a cucumber. Nothing can ruffle you.
It's a good expression.
Nothing can upset you.
It's a good expression. I like that one.
Well, we've had a few comments, Mr. Duncan. People have... There was some... Claudia sent in some bird photographs, which I think you've looked at.
There's a great message here. Palmy, read that one out.
Hello, Mr. Steve. I have advice to you to put on headphones when you're listening to James Last, because it's not so as not to annoy Mr. Duncan. What have you been saying, Mr. Duncan?
Yes. Well, this is your new habit, isn't it?
My new habit is to put Trumpet a Go-Go,
okay,
James Last, or Polka, James Last, because it just cheers me up. It's cheery music. And I do my exercises.
The only problem is, if you do it every night and it's the same songs...
I don't do it every night.
Well, almost every night.
Well, as you know, I'm trying to restore my shoulder back to its former glory.
Is there anything interesting that you've got for us?
Well, you did interrupt me when I was about to make comments.
We know all about your shoulder.
I'm not sure that people do, and I wouldn't mind a bit of sympathy for my poorly shoulder, which has taken 9 months to get better. It's still not there, but I'm on the way.
Okay. We have been criticised, by the way, earlier.
What?
We were asked, why do we like destroying the environment? And I think that is in relation to the video that I showed with the fallen trees. We did not chop those trees down.
No.
All of those trees that you saw in the video that they are the ones that fell. They were blown over by the recent winds. We've had some terrible storms recently, so those particular trees have all been blown down. They were blown over. They were destroyed by the strong winds, so we did not cut them down.
I'd like to go and collect that wood so that we can burn it on the fire, but unfortunately it's probably half a mile from our house and would be a considerable effort to move. Imagine us being caught. And you're not allowed, there is a specific rule in the UK that you're not allowed to take wood or fallen trees if it's public land. There's some rule.
Yeah, I thought it was private land.
Yes, but there are certain, you can't just, it's like picking up dead animals. You can't run over a chicken and just pick it up. Or
Who is picking up dead animals?
What people do to eat. I know a neighbour that's done that.
If you run over a chicken, can I just say that there won't be much left? It'll just be flat with a giant dirty tyre mark going through the middle of it.
Well, it depends where you hit it. But yeah, there are some rules about picking up wood. Not that you could, because, it'd be too heavy to pick up anyway.
It's been a while since I've picked up any wood.
There's no answer to that. Palmyra says that it's very dangerous to live near trees, which is very true. In fact, we've got a neighbour who's got a very big tree in their garden. And if it fell down in the wind, it would probably destroy our house. I think they should get it cut.
Keep digging.
Christina says that she's sent you some mountain pictures, some beautiful mountain photographs.
Oh, okay.
A while ago.
I think I may have shown them. I'm sure I showed them.
Yes.
I think that might be going back quite a long way. I don't know. I will check, because my email box at the moment has gone crazy. And one of the main reasons is because I'm getting lots and lots of spam. I don't know why. I'm getting a lot of spam from one particular place, one particular part of the world, and it's all just junk mail or people trying to hack into my personal information. So I don't know why that's happened over the past couple of months, but I get hundreds and hundreds of spam emails every week. And it's very hard sometimes to actually find the real messages.
There must be a way to filter that. It.
Nowadays they're very sophisticated, you see, because they can use email addresses that don't appear to be spam. So there are ways that they can get around the spam folder or the automatic spam, lovely spam, that sort of thing.
Wojda says, I'm coming here just to say I love you, my favourite teacher. That must be you, Mr. Duncan.
I hope so.
My favourite teacher in the world. When I feel depressed, I open your videos, then I feel happy.
Good.
What a lovely thing to say. Thank you very much.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we don't do it like everyone else. This is very different. If you have a sense of humour, if you like to have a little bit of fun and not take things too seriously all the time, then this is the place to come to learn English, to listen to English, and to have lots of fun. It's like a big family here from all around the world. You are welcome.
So I won't be putting my headphones on. I think Mr. Duncan secretly likes Palmyra. Mr. Duncan secretly is becoming a fan of James Last music.
I do find myself humming the music quite often. So it's going into my ear like an earworm. And that's what happens when you listen to music. Even if the music is something that you don't really like, eventually it will go into your ear like a little worm, and then unfortunately you can't get it out. It won't leave your head.
Christine, I don't have any vinyl James Last records. In fact, I have one CD which I've purchased, but most of it I watch it from the internet on YouTube, because there's loads of it on there for free. So yes, that's how I listen to it. I plug it into my laptop and then put it through the speakers, and I'm dancing away and having a nice little, it just makes me feel happy. Just as
So Steve isn't one of those hipsters that buys vinyl records and listens to them. Can I say hello to Jimmy in Hong Kong? Thank you very much for your donation on the live super chat, and a question as well. I was wondering whether the name Vivian is a gender neutral name, or whether you have to spell it differently, or if it's a rare choice. Well, in fact, Vivian can be a male or female name. So yes, you are right. Vivian can be a male name or a female name. So you might say that it is gender neutral. Vivian. In fact, we've got a friend.
I used to have a girl, a friend who is a girl, not a girlfriend, that was called Vivian. It's not a very common name for men or women. I think wasn't there a TV show with a comedian called Vivian? There
was. I think you're thinking of The Young Ones.
I am.
And there was a punk rocker, and his name was Vivian.
But is it spelt differently? It may be spelt differently for a man or a woman. I'm not sure. Vivian with an A or E.
I think there might be a variation between the male and female in the spelling. So you might have a point there. But yes, Vivian, if you say Vivian, my name is Vivian, it can be male or female. But I think there is a slight variation when you write it. I think one does end with A, N, and the other one ends with E, N.
Saturina says, in Italy, it's only a female name. In Brazil, it's a female name as well, says William. But it can be a male name. It may be spelt differently, sounds the same, but it's very rare. I've never known any man called Vivian, but I have known one woman called Vivian. But it used to be more popular in the UK in the past. But I don't think it was ever that popular, because even elderly people, you don't come across that name very much. So
it is interesting actually how some names are rare, even if they are lovely names. So I think Vivian is a lovely name actually, but you don't come across many Vivians. So I don't think it's because it's old-fashioned.
Oh, I tell a lie. I do know somebody called Vivian, because it's often shortened to Viv. V-I-V.
Okay, you just remembered.
Yes, because I've just realised that it's most people, of course, a lot of people shorten their names, don't they? Stephen is shortened to Steve, for example. Margaret to Marge, etc. So Viv, I just didn't think of that. Viv is fairly popular, actually, and that obviously is a shortened version of Vivian. So, yeah. Often people don't say the whole name, they will just say Viv. And it's definitely mainly a female name.
Apparently in French, the pronunciation is different for men and for women.
Right.
So there is a difference in the pronunciation. But that is it, you see, how these variations can occur between the different languages, especially with names, given names, because you often find that names are quite often multilingual, or they are used in many different places, even if the name sounds very... I suppose Michelle is a good one. Michelle, you see, French. So that can be a French name, but also it can be a name given to a girl in this country.
Vivien Leigh, wasn't she a famous actress?
Vivien Leigh, beautiful, a siren of the 50s.
Yes.
Vivien Leigh. She was in Gone with the Wind.
That's it.
Frankly, my dear, I couldn't give a fig.
And she had a mental breakdown as a result of that film.
Really?
Yes. She had a complete mental breakdown. I don't know why. It's something to do with the show was quite... The film was quite traumatic to make, and the role that she played was very demanding, and it made her... I saw a program about it, and she went a little bit insane
Oh, okay.
as a result of it. I think she recovered, but
Well, they should do a remake. They should do a remake because that's what everyone is doing now. They're all doing remakes. They should do Gone with the Wind, and you could be Rhett Butler,
I'm not manly enough for that.
and I could be Vivian Lee. I could be the helpless damsel in distress standing on the burning mountain. How does that sound?
Yes, I've never seen that film all the way through. I've only ever seen sort of bits of it when it's been on the television.
It's a long one.
It's a long film. I think I'd like to watch it actually one day. I do like watching old films. Obviously, I like watching listening to old music. So old films will probably be just as appealing to me.
We were asked about the garden, by the way. Here it is at the moment, live. I have repositioned one of my cameras so you can see the daffodils are in the garden now, coming out. And yes, you can see there is some sunshine coming through as well. So there it is. I was asked earlier about the garden. They said, we want to see your fabulous garden. And I suppose over the next few weeks, Steve, you will be going outside over the next few weeks to do some gardening.
I will be, yes. There was a little rose bush to the right of the daffodils there, which I've just noticed is starting to have some nice buds coming out.
Yes.
Just in the bottom sort of right-hand side of the picture there. That's a rose bush.
Yeah, the bottom right, you can see there are some red leaves coming through. So that looks like your one of your roses coming up.
It is. Somebody's pointed out I would need a moustache to play Red Butler. Is it Red or Rhett Butler?
I think it's Rhett, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Of course, a lot of people now see that movie as problematic because of the setting, you see.
Yes.
It was set during a rather dark time, let's just say, a time when certain things were happening. We are talking about slavery, of course. So a lot of people now think that Gone with the Wind, the story, and the movie are a little out of date.
Yes, out of date. But when you watch old films like that, you have to watch them knowing what opinions were at the time, and you have to, you can't. It's very difficult to. People these days quite often judge everything in the past by today's standards, and it's a very. It's something that's frequently done now, isn't it? And,
yes, we often see certain things, certain TV shows, maybe certain jokes, even jokes that people tell. Some people say that certain jokes should not be told anymore. We have lots of things coming in the second hour. We have a lot of things coming up in the second hour of the show. We are looking at nose words and expressions, and there are lots and lots. So, there it is. Mr. Steve, show us your nose. Turn around. Let's see your profile. Look at that. Now that is what I call a nose. Turn around. No, that way. That's it. That's it. Look at that. Now that is what I call a Roman nose.
It's a proud.
And the reason why I say that is because it's Roman all over your face.
Well, I used to have a friend that was deaf. No, he's still deaf, actually.
What?
What I meant by that
was there a miracle?
No. We're still friends. But so the symbol for British people in the deaf community, in the deaf language.
He used to be deaf.
I meant that I used to have a friend and he was deaf, not a friend that was. He's still deaf, and we're still friends actually. So I'll just forget what I just said.
That's a lot of detail.
But anyway, the sign for English people in the deaf language, the American deaf language, is that.
When you say deaf language, you mean sign language.
Sign language, yes.
Nobody calls it
sign language, yes.
No one.
I'm offending people already. But yeah, that is the For British people, because British people tend to have sort of
Yes. Isn't it
biggish noses.
Isn't it that? They do that.
That's the symbol for a British person, is to
Yes.
indicate that there is a,
So they are showing that the nose is large.
Whereas yours is, go on, you turn to the side, Mr. Duncan.
Mine is beautiful. My nose is like a little mushroom.
Mr. Duncan's nose is pert. It's like a button nose. A button nose. You can sort of press it like a button.
My nose has been called cute and button-like.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, we're talking about noses today. Words connected with noses.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you ever see deaf people doing sign language, and they do that, they're talking about a British person.
I still can't get over you saying deaf language.
Yes.
It's not deaf language, it is sign language.
All right. Mega says, could you please suggest any latest English web series or movies to watch, which is comedy and motivating? You mean apart from us?
Well, this is the only place you should be going to be honest. I'm amazed that you think there might be somewhere better than this. This is the best. It's number one, baby. But yes, there are many things you can watch on YouTube. And one of the good things nowadays is a lot of videos on YouTube have captions as well. So I think it's easy nowadays to follow most things if you can activate the captions, to be honest.
Vitas has told us a joke. Thank you, Vitas. Patient. I don't know what's wrong with me. Doctor, my nose runs and my feet smell. Doctor says, you're upside down.
Oh, I see that, because your nose is running like your feet.
I'll say it again. I don't know what's wrong with me, Doc. My nose runs and my feet smell. Doctor says, you're upside down.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's any more funny the second time you tell it.
Well, I sort of misread the...
Could
the
you
way
tell
it
it
was
again,
written down.
even slower? A
No.
man goes to...
So we've got somebody watching us from Ukraine. Is it Hannah or Daniel
Hannah
from
and-
last week?
Yes, Hannah and Daniel were here last week.
But I can't tell from the Cyrillic writing.
Well, that's
Whether it-
Hannah.
Is it?
That's Hannah.
Welcome.
Just from my memory. You see, I remember that, you see. My memory is very good, so I remember that actually was Hannah.
That could be Hannah. It looks like
Yes.
it looks like H-A. Yeah,
It's Hannah. Trust me, Steve.
Right, that's fine. Good. Thank you for your comments. Right, so noses, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, we will be looking at nose, idioms and phrases in a few moments. And that is what we are doing today. We have a lot of stuff to get through. I will be honest with you, we do have quite a lot of stuff to get through. So that is what we are doing in the second hour of today's show. Don't go away. It's very hard to do a live show. I've got to be honest with you, it isn't easy doing it live. but here we are doing it live just for you. You might hear some of the beautiful sounds live from the garden today. So I do have a little microphone outside picking up some of the lovely sounds. Let's have a little listen.
Écoutez.
The birds are singing. I think that was a dunnock. There was a dunnock singing a few moments ago, sounding very happy indeed. We are looking at something today, Steve. And as you know, I love words, I love phrases, and quite often you find that certain words and phrases are connected to a particular thing. And in this case today, there are many words and phrases connected to a certain part of the body. It might be a part of the body that you sometimes don't even notice or take any notice of, even though it's right in front of you. It's as plain as the nose on your face. And that is what we are looking at today, Steve. We are going to look at nose, words, and phrases. Those words and phrases today. I bet you're excited to do this. So Steve doesn't know anything about this. Not only that, but we are also playing a game later connected to nose, words and phrases later on. Guess the nose. Whose nose is it? So later on we are playing a game where we have to look at some well-known noses and we have to guess whose nose the nose belongs to, and that coming up a little bit later on. So Steve, let's have a look at some words and phrases connected to the nose. We have nose, words and phrases coming up. Here is the first one, and we have quite a few to get through, so we have half an hour of this, and then we are going to play our little game where we have to guess whose nose we are looking at.
That looks rude, Mr. Duncan. Somebody sticking their finger up their nose, picking their nose. Apparently, a lot of people do that a lot when they're sitting in traffic lights.
Yes. But if you notice that the finger actually goes up the nose. Shall I show you again?
Oh, Mr. Duncan. That would be very painful to get your whole finger right up.
I have to say I spent many hours designing that and preparing it. It's nice, isn't it? I think I deserve a round of applause for that.
Yeah.
That's enough.
That's very self-congratulatory.
Yes, why not? Sometimes you have to pat yourself on the back because no one else will. Here we go then. Words and phrases connected to the nose. Are you ready, Mr. Steve?
I am. Well, we just saw a big nose on that cow in the video, didn't we?
That had a very big wet nose.
A very big wet nose.
Here we go then. The first one. This is a phrase that we can use using the word nose. We have on the nose. Something that is on the nose is something that means to be exactly right or correct. So if you do something, if you answer a question and you are exactly right, or maybe you know something that is a fact and then you talk about that fact, a person might say, yes, you are on the nose, you are exactly right.
Yes, you might be giving an opinion on some world events. And somebody says, I think you're right on the nose with that, with what you're saying. It means that they agree with you and they think that you're accurate in your assessment of a particular situation. You could be at work and you could be talking about how to best approach customers and things like that. And you put forward a proposal and the boss says, yep, I think you're right on the nose. We're going to change our policy and do that from now on.
Yeah, a good suggestion.
A good suggestion
is something that might be described as on the nose. Of course,
Oh, right, yeah.
if you do something too much, or if you force something too much, it can have a negative meaning as well. So maybe you are over emphasizing something, or you are pushing something too much. We might say that something is too on the nose. It is too direct. So we can use this sometimes in a negative way if we are talking about something that is being forced or explained or expressed too much.
Yes.
Something
yes.
very obvious, something that takes no imagination to work out, might be described as being too on the nose. That's too much.
Yes.
But generally speaking, it means to be exactly right or correct. A person is right. They are on the nose. Here's another one. We are looking at nose words and phrases today. And here is the next one. We might say that you can follow your nose. You can follow your nose. Sometimes people give this as advice. They might say, if you want to find the best place, just follow your nose. Sometimes we say to a person, if you can't work out how to do something or how to approach something, sometimes it's best just to follow your nose. And this means that Steve is blocking this. Let me just move that. To go along with one's own intuition.
Yes.
Your intuition. To go along with one's own feelings, your own judgment. So you follow your nose, rather like a dog. So I think that's what it refers to. The dog has a very sensitive nose.
Yes, it means that you can find the right course of action or the right path by, as a dog would do, by using its nose to pick up scents. Scents, that's not SCENTS, smells. Yes, it's indicating that you use your intuition. So sometimes if you want to do something but you don't know exactly how to do it, then sometimes you have to act without knowing all the facts. So use your intuition, follow your nose. What do you think's the best way? What comes to mind when you want to do something? You could be. Trying to think of an example, Mr. Duncan. You might be.
Well, I gave
some advice to
I
somebody.
gave a couple of exampple at the start. So to follow your nose is to go with your instinct. Maybe something, if you are trying to find the best place to eat.
Yes.
And maybe
Or you might follow your nose. Literally, might follow
Yes.
your nose in that instance.
if you are trying to smell the air.
Yes.
For the lovely food.
Hayler, trust your feelings. Yes, your instincts. Trust your feelings. Follow your nose. What do you think's the best thing? The best way to do something, or the best way to achieve something? Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. That's very nice to have it when people put a different phrase on what we're trying to say. We've had a suggestion. You're probably going to do this one. Anyway.
I can't. Steve is showing me something in writing.
Yes,
Let me just have a
that's
look. I'm
all
trying to
right.
read it.
All right then.
I can't read that. Mr. Steve's handwriting is the worst handwriting I've ever seen. It doesn't look like writing.
Black Eagle has suggested a phrase, don't poke your nose into my business.
Yes. Well, we might be having that one a little bit later on.
Thank you, but we might be having that one, yes.
Thank you very much. That's good. I'm just making a little change here. Just bear with me.
Yes, if you've got any suggestions, please do make them. And if you've got any photographs of your nose, some people have said, for example, somebody said, I've got a flat nose. And somebody else said, Din Hawaii says, I've got a flat nose. But somebody else said that they've got an upturned nose. That was Christina.
Yes,
They've
well,
got an upturned nose.
So please don't get the
Something
wrong
like
idea.
that.
We're not criticising people's noses. Mr. Steve just happens to have a big nose, and I have a very small, delicate nose.
You know what they say about people with big noses? It's flat, says Din. Oh, okay. Well, yes. Well, we'd like to see it. I'm sure it's got a beautiful nose.
Yes.
But Mr. Duncan's nose is a button nose. When you see it, you want to press it like a button.
Ding.
Nothing happened, unfortunately. Vitas is coming up with the jokes thick and fast.
Okay.
If you say something's happening thick and fast, it means it's happening quickly, rapidly, and a lot of things are happening.
Okay, let's have another one, Steve, because we are already, it's 15 minutes.
No, can I just say the joke? Why is a dog's nose in the middle of its face? Because it's the centre. That's a play on word.
Yes, that's a double meaning.
A double meaning. Scent meaning smell, and centre, S-E-N, is T-R-E, is the middle
No,
of something.
C-E-N
C-E-N.
is centre.
Well,
As in the middle, not S-E-N.
Oh, yes, C-E-N. Yes, C-E-N. Yes. Did I say S-E-N? I meant C-E-N.
Welcome
yeah.
to learning how to spell incorrectly.
Vitas has a big nose.
And it's R-E at the end, not E-R, because it's British English.
I said R-E.
Yes, I know.
that.
I didn't say you didn't.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out the difference for the viewers out there watching.
Tomix here to come up with a suggestion.
Okay.
It may be coming up. Is that one coming up?
I've got 30 of these.
Good grief.
And we've done 2.
Is that one of them?
Yes,
Okay,
we've got
right,
all of these.
okay.
Yes, let me just get through these, Steve. We've only done 2 and it's 3:15. To get up someone's nose. Oh, I know this one very well. To get up someone's nose. If a person gets up your nose, or something gets up your nose.
Yes. Right. I don't use that expression very much. God, they really get up my nose. It means that it's meaning it's referring to an unpleasant smell.
Yes.
So if someone gets up your nose, it means that they're unpleasant. You don't like them.
Yes, or an annoying person.
Yes.
To be annoying. So someone that gets up your nose is a person who is annoying. You don't want to be near them, or maybe something that you don't like. But generally speaking, we often refer to a person as getting up your nose. It means you find that person annoying. You might say, he gets right up my nose. Some people say that about us.
I'm sure they do.
They say that they say that Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve, they both get right up my nose. And that means to be annoying. Something that annoys you, you can say that it gets right up your nose. Here's another one. To poke one's nose.
Oh, right.
Yes, into something. You are poking your nose into something. To poke one's nose into something is an expression. We often use this if a person is being inquisitive or asking too many questions. To inquire into another person's private life. You are poking your nose into their business.
Or affairs.
Yes.
That's similar to... Palmyra talked about nosy people. And that's similar. If you're the sort of person that is always trying to find out information for gossip, you might be gossiping, talking in a not very nice way about people, then that means you're nosy. Did you hear about such and such? What are they married? Is that their boyfriend, or are they? I thought they were going out with somebody else. If you're always trying to poke your nose into someone else's business, well, I wonder how much money they've got. What kind of a job? If you're always being nosy, trying to find out
Quite often, if you are
people.
directly asking that person, though. So if you directly ask someone something, who was that person I saw you with last week in town? I don't recognise them. And the person you are talking to might think, oh, how dare you poke your nose into my private life?
Yes. Or they might say, oh, don't be so nosy. They might say it in a friendly way. or they might not do that. But yeah,
I don't think people who are offended are going to take it lightly. I think so. If you are being nosy,
good one, yeah.
being nosy. Here we go then, Steve. Here's
Yeah.
another one. A lot of people these days are so self-conscious about their appearance, their face, especially their face. Of course, these days people have cosmetic surgery all over their body. Sometimes they have things made smaller, and sometimes they have things made larger. Oh, to have a nose job.
oh, right.
If you
yes.
have a nose job, it sounds rude, but it isn't. It's nothing to do with that. But if you have a nose job, to have a nose job is it is cosmetic surgery carried out on one's nose. So a person quite often will have their nose reshaped. Some people think their nose is too large or too wide, or maybe it has too many holes.
Christine has pointed out that Michael Portillo has a very big nose. Yes, and when men get older,
Yeah.
a lot of men, I don't know if it's just British men, I don't think it is, because there's two things that keep growing, at least two things that keep growing as you get older.
I know one thing that shrinks.
One is your ears, the other is your nose.
Mm.
And your nose can get bigger and bigger as you get older, and it can look quite ugly. And yes, an ex-British politician who's made a lot of programmes, television programmes, has quite a big nose.
Yeah.
And of course, if you lie, as William points out, Pinocchio, your nose gets bigger.
That's it. It's the only thing that does.
That's true.
Nothing else gets bigger.
A nosy Parker, yes.
Nothing else gets bigger as you get older.
I have a nose for learning English, says Gulu 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, cosmetic surgery carried out on someone's nose. There is a more formal word for this,
Oh, right, okay. Oh,
So-
yes.
and we call it rhinoplasty. Rhinoplasty is cosmetic surgery that is done on your nose. The one thing I've noticed about my nose is because it's very small, the holes look really big. My big holes on my nose. Here's another one. We are looking at nose words and phrases today, and then we will be playing a game. You have to guess whose nose it is a little bit later on, so please don't go away. To have one's nose in the trough.
Oh, yes.
Oh, now this is a very good one if you are into politics. People who like to take advantage of certain things, that you might say that they have their nose in the trough. To take full advantage of something available, normally something that's easily available, such as money. So quite often people might criticise politicians for having their nose in the trough.
Yes, it means that it sort of conjures up the image of a pig feeding in a trough. It's distasteful. It's not very nice, and it looks like you've got no self-control. And yes, often politicians or businessmen who take advantage of their position for personal gain, either financial or to get a nice lucrative job somewhere, taking advantage of your position or your status
There it is.
to oh, lovely.
Yes.
And you're sort of almost it's quite disgusting, really. Just like a pig would eat out of a trough.
Yes. So a person who is taking advantage of something that is easily available. Quite often people who have some sort of high-powered job, or maybe they have some influence and they're able to get things easily, they have their noses in the trough. So I love this expression. And a lot of people talk about this and mention this particular phrase when we discuss politicians and people who are getting easy money.
Because there have been very many stories recently, well, for many years now, politicians taking advantage of their position for personal gain. For example, with their expenses, there have been lots of politicians have expenses, but they are often, there's been lots of cases where they've abused that to get things, extensions to their homes built, and claiming that it's for an office that they need to use for their work as an MP, but it turns out they're not using it for that. They're just using the rules to get personal gain and advantage.
Yes. So quite often you find also large organisations. I suppose a good example would be the BBC, where people are getting easy money for doing very little. And you might also say that some people there have their noses in the trough. And of course, a trough is something that a pig will eat from. So there you can see some pigs eating from the trough. Sometimes it has food and sometimes it contains water. So that is a good expression and one that is very contemporary. I think so.
Yes. Corruption. It's effectively a form of corruption.
Here's another one. To turn your nose up, it's something.
Right, okay.
To turn your nose up,
Yes.
it's something. Something maybe that you are offered, maybe a chance, maybe something you feel is not worthy of you. You think it is not good enough. Maybe you reject it. And we can describe this as, well, certainly as a definition, to dismiss or reject a chance or offer. You turn your nose up at something. Another word we can use, Steve, is snub.
Yes.
You snub something.
It's a negative phrase. It's suggesting that you're being offered something, but for snobbish reasons, you decide not to. So somebody might say to you, "Oh, I've just baked some cakes. Would you like one?" And you go, "No, thank you."
No.
And it would, in terms of social etiquette, it probably would have been a good idea to say, "Oh, yes, please, thank you very much." Even if you didn't want one, you might take one and just have a bite or save it for later. But if you do it with a certain haughty look on your face,
Yes.
somebody then might say to you, "Oh, why don't turn your nose up at me?" Or it could be in company. You don't want to talk to somebody.
Yes.
In company, somebody might be talking to you and you're sort of not responding. Yes.
So snub is a great word. So this particular phrase basically means to snub something or someone.
Yes.
You turn your nose. We've got to move on, Steve.
Okay.
You turn your nose up at something. Here's another one. We have a lot of nose phrases, words, phrases. To put someone's nose out of joint. To put someone's nose out of joint. Any ideas?
Yes, that means that somebody said something that offends you, and it's a particular expression that you take on. So if you were to say something, somebody says something that upsets you, or you say something that upsets somebody else, and they sort of they form an expression which puts their nose slightly off centre. The expression means that you're upset or offended
Yes.
by something somebody said to you.
That's it. So we have the definition. To offend someone or hurt their pride. So you put someone's nose out of joint. You say something to them that offends them. You have put their nose out of joint. I love that one. I think that's a great phrase.
And you literally, I think it comes because you literally put an expression on your face which twists your nose off to one side. So it looks like it's out of joint. Say something awful to me, Mr. Duncan. And then, yes, to offend or hurt somebody's pride. You might say to somebody, "Oh, are you putting on weight?" or or your hair's a bit grey, isn't it? And they might sort of
Yes, or maybe to criticize someone for the work they've done. You can also put their nose out of joint by just maybe saying something that is critical. You can put someone's nose out of joint by saying something that is critical towards another person.
Your boss might criticise you for something which you think's unfair, and you are offended by it, and you might say to a colleague, my boss said that she's not happy with my work because I didn't get it in too late. That's really put my nose out of joint because I worked really hard to get that in on time.
Okay, that's a good one.
Hello, Pedro.
I always think it sounds like you're punching someone, you're hitting someone. You put their nose out of joint.
Yes.
You thump them. I like that. Here's another one.
But you're offended, and your nose literally goes off to one side.
To be a nosy Parker.
By Umberto. Yes.
To be a nosy
Oh,
Parker.
we've had that one, yes.
Yes. So it was mentioned earlier. To be a nosy Parker is a person who is often curious or inquisitive about another person's life, or maybe their private life. A nosy Parker.
Saturnino's mentioned that word. Palmyra did as well. And Dan Gleacock as well mentioned it as well.
To watch someone or to pry for information. So you are watching a person from a long way off. Maybe you have a pair of binoculars and you are looking into your neighbour's house.
We don't do that.
We never do that. We never ever do that. Never ever. Ever. We never do it. Ever. To watch someone or to pry for information. A nosy person can be described as a nosy Parker. You are always interested in other people's private business.
Hi, Umberto.
Private business.
We like to know all about people's private business.
Yes.
On the live stream. You know all about us,
Yes.
but often we don't know very much about you.
We know nothing about you.
No.
But you know everything about us. You know all of our strange habits. You know all of Mr. Steve's medical problems. All of them. Every single one of them. To watch someone or to pry for information. You are constantly looking for information about people or about the things they do in their private life. Oh, here's another one. Maybe you are running a race. Maybe you are in a contest. And maybe you win, but by a very small margin. We can say that you win by a nose.
Oh, right, yes.
To win something by a nose.
So obviously your nose isn't very big. So if you win by, it's only a small distance. So if you win, it could be anything. It doesn't literally have to be like a race, a running. You might not be running and beat somebody. It could be any kind of competition. You win by a nose. It just means you're just the winner, but only just. It means the person that came second was very close to you. You win by a nose, by a very small amount.
So you win, but only by a small margin. So when we talk about margin, we are talking about just a very small distance, a small margin. So you win by a nose. Maybe in a horse race, you might have two horses that win the race at the same time. However, when you watch it again on the replay, you find that one of the horses was just in front, just by a nose.
But, of course, that would be measured in time. But it could be at work. You could be in a competition with people at work for the most sales or something. And you beat one of your colleagues by just sort of one small sale. but you still win, and so you've won by a nose. It doesn't literally have to be a race.
That's it. It can be a race or a competition.
Yes, Louis XVII says you might need a photo finish
That's a good one.
to determine exactly who the winner is. It's very close.
Okay, here's another one, Steve. We are so short of time. To keep your nose clean.
Now Black Eagle mentioned this earlier, so
Oh.
well done to Black Eagle.
Yes. If you keep your nose clean, well, keeping your nose clean is a good thing because then people cannot see all of the mess that is running out of your nose or coming out. Normally green. Quite often green stuff will come out of your nose. We call it snot in British English. That's what we describe it as. So all of the green stuff or the things that come out of your nose that runs out
Nasal secretions.
like liquid. Quite often it is green or yellow or sometimes clear. We call it snot. It's a word you use often when you were a child, snot. And to keep your nose clean as an expression means to stay out of trouble and behave yourself. So don't break the law. Don't get in trouble with the police. You have to stay out of trouble and behave. You have to keep your nose clean. Quite often said to people who've just come out of prison. You will now have to avoid going back to prison. You have to keep your nose clean.
But it could be at work as well. You might be talking to colleagues and they you might say to them, what's the best way to get promotion? And somebody will say to you, well, keep your nose clean. Or you might say to your boss, well, I want to get promoted. I want to be manager or something like that. How would I do that? And your boss might say, well, the first thing, keep your nose clean. So in other words, don't upset people. Don't say something controversial. Because particularly in work, you might be good at your job. And I know somebody, a friend of mine, who's very good at their job, but they're always upsetting people because they can't help making comments, derogatory or bad remarks about other people's work.
It's not you, is it?
It's not me, no. And so they never get promoted because they upset people, even though they're probably better at their job than other people. So he should have kept his nose clean by not upsetting people. It indicates as well that you're good to get on with, that you don't upset people. Keep your nose clean. Don't steal office equipment. Don't steal.
Don't break the law or break the rules.
Yes, don't steal printer cartridges at work, because you'll have keep your nose clean and you will have more success.
Here we go. We've got about 3 more, and then we have our super duper contest. We're going to guess the nose a little bit later. I bet you can't wait for that. Pay through the nose for something. You have to pay through the nose. We had that one earlier. Someone actually suggested that. If you pay through the nose...
Yes, no, sorry. Pedro says, I've got to keep my nose clean. I don't want to be in jail again.
No, that's it.
Yes.
I think that's a very good example. So Pedro Belmont has been told that he must keep his nose clean and stay out of trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yes, so thank you for sharing that. That's very open and transparent.
Okay, here's the next one, where pay through the nose for something. To spend more money than you wanted to. You spent more than you wanted to. Maybe you were buying a new car and maybe your budget was £10,000, but you had to spend £15,000 on the car. So you might say, yeah, that car, I had to pay through the nose for it. So imagine the money being pulled out of your nose. Very painful. Something that's painful to pay for because it's a lot of money. We can say that you paid through the nose.
Well, we're paying through the nose at the moment for a lot of things because inflation is at record 40-year highs.
When you say inflation, what do you mean?
The prices of everything are going up.
Mm-hmm.
I think inflation is around sort of 7% at the moment, and it's been historically at sort of 2-3% for the last 40 years. And
That's here.
well, it's mostly all around the world, I think. Certainly here, certainly most of Europe. Everyone's noticing prices going up, prices of fuel. So we're paying through the nose for petrol and diesel.
Yes, and certainly over
Because-
the next few months, people will be paying through the nose for their electricity. So
Yes.
all of the charges in this country and also around the world are going to
Electricity, gas, everything. The price of wheat has doubled recently. The price of oil has gone up. All commodities are going up in price. Gold, silver, all the rare sort of metals.
I'm sorry if you're thinking of buying some gold today, it's very expensive now.
But I'm not just sort of
I
all
know.
commodities are going up in price at the moment.
So everything is going to become very expensive over the next few months.
So we'll be paying through the nose for a long time.
So if we're not here in a few weeks' time from now, after a couple of months, if you find that we're not here, it's probably because we've had to sell everything to pay for the electricity.
Well, I've purchased some LED light bulbs
Okay.
today to replace our old bulbs because I want to got to find ways of saving money on the electricity bills.
Okay. How much do they cost you?
Well, I've worked out they'll pay for themselves in about a year.
Oh.
So that's it. You don't buy. Yeah, I've worked out. You see, I'm not just a pretty face. That although they're going to cost quite a lot to buy them, they will recoup the upfront cost of
Yeah.
those in hopefully about a year.
So after 1 year, the price you paid for them will be returned to you.
Well, our electricity has gone up by about 30%.
Yeah. We've got to move on, Steve.
A lot.
Yeah, okay. Paying through the nose to pay more than you intended for something. Here's another one. As we fast approach 20 minutes to 4. To do something under one's nose.
Driss. Thank you, Driss. Put this in the live chat about 5 or 10 minutes ago. See, I'm taking a note of everything.
Yeah?
Right under your nose.
Good.
So thanks, Driss.
So to do something right under your nose. I was going to do this then. Have you seen the videos? I think it's Korea, where the young guys are trying to become handsome and to attract a young girl, and quite often they will have elaborate hairstyles, and they will do this as they walk past the girl. Has anyone seen that? Am I the only person that's seen that video? It's so strange.
I haven't seen that.
To do
Yes.
something under one's nose, here is the meaning, Steve. If I speed up a little bit, it's because we're running out of time. To do something near or in front of someone. And we can think of a very good example of that. If you are in a marriage and maybe the wife is having a secret affair. However, the affair is with the next door neighbour. So the wife is jumping over the fence and she's going to the next door neighbour and she's having relations with him. But when the husband finds out, he said, "Oh, how could you do that right under my nose?"
Very close to you. There we go.
You can see how shocked I was by that. I was really shocked. How could you do that?
You could be stealing from somebody at work.
Maybe your boss.
Maybe you're going into somebody's fridge. In that, maybe you share a kitchen with somebody, and you go into their fridge and you steal things out of there, or you go into somebody's locker at work, because quite often at work you've got you might bring your own coffee in at work or something like that, or you might bring, and somebody's using that, and you find out about it right under your nose, literally right in front of you, or very close to you.
So it's supposed to be secret, but the thing you are doing secretly is very close to the thing that might be revealed, or the person that might find out. For example, the husband and the wife. The wife is having an affair with the next door neighbour right under the husband's nose.
Or vice versa. Could be the
Yes.
husband, of course.
Well, I thought I would have a bit of equality, you see, because quite often people say the man will run away with a woman. But quite often you will find that it's the ladies as well. They will run off with a handsome young man, quite often the gym instructor, some muscular man who will bring a bit of excitement into her life.
Pedro's going already. You haven't been here very long, Pedro.
You're going to miss the lovely contest. Whose nose is it? We've got a great contest coming up in a few minutes.
Is that the last one that you were going to put down? Because I've got one more from somebody.
Okay.
Dan, well, it's connected to noses. You can smell it a mile off.
Yes, something that is...
Thank you, Dan.
Something that is easy to spot, or something that is easy to see or recognise. Yes, that's a good one.
Bye, Pedro. Yes. Dan is the man. Dan the man.
Dan the man. That's what
Yes.
they call
You
him.
can smell it a mile off. Yes. So something obviously is happening. You can tell it's going to happen.
We can all-
Belarusia's going as well.
Okay. See, bye, Claudia. That's Claudia going. See you soon, I hope. Nasal. When we talk about nasal things, well, those are things that are related to the nose, generally. Nasal. So maybe you have nasal problems. Something is wrong with the inside of your nose. And of course, the word rhino relates to the nose as well. And that's the reason why the rhinoceros is called the rhinoceros, because it has a very large horn on its nose. And that's the reason why it relates to the word rhino.
Nasal passages.
Yes.
The little spaces inside your nose.
And of course, there are lots of slang terms for the nose. Ew. You can have nose slang, such as hooter. Hooter.
Ah, he's got a big hooter.
Yes, a person's hooter is their nose. Also, snout. Snout, like a pig. A pig has a snout. Conk. I love that one.
Yes, snout is often used for animals' noses, but you can, in a derogatory or not very nice way, describe somebody's nose as a snout.
Snout. Also, conk. As I said, conk. A person's nose. Quite often, if it's a big one. If a person has a big nose, we will often describe it as a conk because it's large. Here's a good one. Schnozzle. Schnozzle. I like that one.
Sounds German.
So your name, your nose is your schnozzle.
Or your snozzle box.
Schnozzle. I like it. Beak. Like a bird, because I suppose the shape of the nose is a little bit like a beak. Your snoot. Snoot. A person's nose can be described as their snoot. What about their sniffer? Your sniffer. Your sniffer is your nose. And finally, snitch. Your snitch. Something has gone up my snitch.
I would say the commonest ones there would be hooter and conk. Hooter and conk in the UK would be
Yes.
the common one.
So yeah, I
would say,
thought
probably.
I thought that was quite interesting, and we have some illustrations. We haven't finished. We have some more words. So your illustrations for the nose, parts of the nose that you can see on the outside. Oh, very nice.
It's a very pretty nose.
Yes, it's a beautiful nose. It looks a bit like my nose. So you have the bridge of your nose, which is at the top, quite often where your glasses go. That part of your nose is called the bridge. And then we have the holes on either side, we describe those as nostrils. Each one is described as a nostril.
Have you got hair up your nostril, Mr. Duncan?
One nostril, another nostril.
You need to trim the hairs in your nostrils.
And then you have the little gap, or should I say not a gap, it's actually the solid part of your nose underneath. And that is called your septum. The septum. So I hope you...
Somebody mentioned that earlier.
Yes. I've got a great picture of some nostrils.
Oh.
I love this photograph. Let me just get it up onto the screen. Here it comes. Nostrils.
Mr. Duncan.
And as you can see, they're very hairy.
That one is. Well, I think it looks like it's been well trimmed.
Yes. So nostrils. So your nostrils are the holes on either side of your nose. Some people put things up their nostrils. I'm not saying what, but they do sometimes put things up their nostril. And of course you can have it inside your nose as well, Steve. Inside your nose. Your nasal cavity is the inside space in your nose. So that is actually inside your skull. And that is where all of the sensitive nerve endings that can sense smell. And they are called your olfactory lobes. The olfactory lobes are your smelling buds. Of course, sometimes people do things that are disgusting, don't they, Steve? There are some disgusting things that a person might do. They might, or a person might, or maybe you might pick your nose. Children will often pick their noses. Adults sometimes pick their nose as well. I've seen many people pick their nose and they think that they can't be seen. What about you, Steve?
We all do it. We all do it, don't we? Yes. I saw a programme recently about buying a second-hand car, and they swabbed various parts of the car to see what things were present in that swab. And apparently one of the commonest things they found when they went round second-hand car forecourts is that, particularly on the steering wheel and on some of the switches, nasal secretions
snot
were all over these, steering wheel and other places like that in the car, showing that when people are in the car, they think that, nobody's watching them, they can pick their nose, and then, of course, they're handling all the switches again. So if you buy a second-hand car, maybe it's a good idea to wash down the interior with some nice soap and water.
Some antiseptic. I think so. Here's another one. A person might blow their nose. To blow your nose is to empty your nose, especially when you have a cold. You get lots of things in your nose, lots of mucus, and sometimes you have to blow your nose. And of course, when you get a cold, quite often you will have
blocked nose?
A running nose.
A running nose.
A runny nose.
Oh, yes, yeah.
A blocked nose.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing now, Mr. Duncan. Yes.
A blocked nose. The nose is running. So that means all of the liquid is coming out, especially when you have a cold, and it's not very pleasant.
A runny nose or a running nose?
Yes. My nose is running.
You've worked hard today, Mr. Duncan, on...
Yes. Well, we've got more. That's the thing.
We've got that competition as well.
We
have hurry up, haven't we?
Yes, we have a contest coming up now, and it's something I'm really feeling rather excited about. I don't know why. This is a little contest, a little competition that we're going to do. You can join in as well, Steve, but also it's for you as well. You can guess, because now we are going to play Whose Nose Is It? Whose nose is it? Is the game we are going to play now. So I'm going to show you some noses. Some noses of well-known people from all areas of life. Whose nose is it? So here is the first one. This is an easy one. I've decided to make the first one easy, Steve. So are you ready?
Go on.
Here is the first one. The first nose. So there it is. It's a famous nose, a well-known nose. It is a nose that, well, let's just say
Very distinctive.
this nose did not always look like this.
Ah.
The nose used to be a different shape, and some might say a different colour.
Oh, I think somebody
Oh.
has already referred to this earlier
Oh, I
on
see.
in the live
Let's
chat.
not, let's not say anything.
Oh, well, Tatika has guessed, I think, correctly already.
Oh, it looks like we're getting some correct guesses coming through.
Yes, well done.
Yes. So, this nose belonged to a famous person, a singer. And the nose started out looking very different.
Marcia's got it.
This is what the nose eventually looked like.
What did it look like in the beginning? Have
Very-
you got a picture of that?
I haven't got a picture of it, but I suppose I could have had one. But I couldn't be bothered, to be honest.
I think most people have got this. Norte's got it.
Good.
Charlie's
So we
got
do
it.
have to give a bit of time, Steve, because there's about a 20-second delay before we...
Yes, I know that. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, Steve. So we just give it a bit of time, because there is about a 20-second delay between it appearing and the answer. Okay.
Well, lots of people have said, yeah.
And, well, yes, a lot of people have got it right. The answer is our first mystery nose. Yes, it's the King of Pop himself, Michael Jackson. The King of Pop is what they called him. No longer with us, sadly, but a lot of people still listen to his music. Michael Jackson was our first mystery nose.
Well done.
Here's another one. I think you will get a kick out of this. This is our next mystery nose. Don't say anything, Steve. So just let the answers come through first.
I'm not going to say anything. Yes.
No?
Yeah. Well, I think we've had this one
Oh,
already.
okay.
But,
Just
uh,
actually, that's almost like that. You see? You see what I'm doing there, Steve?
What? Oh, I see. Yes. If you are a liar, a fibber, a person that doesn't tell the truth, then this is what happens in the cartoon world
Yes.
to your nose.
Of course, it's based on a famous story about a boy who originally was not a boy. There are many of...
Oh, it sounds like a very modern story.
Yes, that's it. It's something slightly different from that, but it's a boy who was not a boy, but then later he got his wish. He became a boy. But also he had a habit of lying. And whenever he lied, this would happen to his nose. His nose would slowly get longer and longer if he lied, if he told a lie.
Lillian said it's Vitas's nose, which I'm sure is meant as a joke. Tomek says it's Boris Johnson.
I've never seen Pinocchio's nose.
Well, there we go. Yes, because as we know, as is commonly reported and commonly commented on.
Okay, Steve.
a certain-
Don't say anything else.
Well, I know it's all
No,
right, but
no, you've got to trust me.
okay, yeah, but I'm not going to say. What I'm going to say is the observation is probably correct.
Okay.
Well, so many people say.
Hmm.
You can trust me, Mr. Duncan.
Actually,
I think we can. I mean, we're going to get cut off for saying a certain politician.
No, that's not the reason why. You just always
okay,
trust
fine,
me.
Okay, carry on then. But we know who it is. It's who is it, Mr. Duncan? It's Pinocchio.
Yes, Pinocchio.
Yes.
Apparently, most people can't spell Pinocchio. Pinocchio. was the little boy who started out as a puppet made of wood, and then eventually he got his dream and he became a real boy. So, yes, I thought that was good. Here we go. Another one, Steve.
Okay.
Another mystery nose. So that's a well-known nose. Ah. I think this is a lot harder.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a nose. It looks like a black dot that's gone wrong.
It is a nose.
Right, okay.
You just have to trust me again. So here is a nose. It's a famous nose, very, very well-known nose. This nose has been around for many, many years.
It could be anyone, says Haler.
So don't mention the answers yet. Let the answers
right.
filter through, because we have about 20 seconds delay.
Yes.
So this is a nose. It looks like a simple nose, but can I just say it is a cute, very cute nose.
Well,
It's a lovely nose.
I think people are starting to pick up on what this could be.
Okay, so we have some answers coming through now. Ah, very interesting. Some very interesting answers. Yogi Bear. I like that one. Yogi Bear. It might be Yogi Bear because Yogi Bear. Hello, Boo Boo. Who remembers Yogi Bear? And what was his little nephew's name? Was it his nephew or his son? Boo Boo. His son's name was Boo Boo. Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Yes, we have quite a few answers coming through. This is. I thought this would be quite difficult because there isn't much there.
And who will be right?
Yes.
We've had a lot of suggestions.
Yes.
By the way, I haven't heard Biscaya of James Last. Angela, sorry. I've written that down, and I will look that up on the internet later. I might have heard it. I probably don't recognise the name. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. My nose is itching, Mr. Duncan.
How ironic.
Yes.
Mr. Steve is going to sneeze. I hope there isn't any snot.
What was that?
Coming out.
There used to be a series, American series, with somebody, and her nose would twitch, and then she was like not a genie.
Bewitched.
Was it Bewitched? That's it.
Yes. Bewitched.
She'd twitch her nose, and what would happen?
Well,
would something happen?
She was a witch, and she would twitch her nose. It's actually not easy to do, and yes, but we digress.
So what is it, Mr. Duncan? We've had lots of suggestions. So
it is a famous character, a cartoon character. A lot of people said Mickey Mouse. It wasn't. It isn't Mickey Mouse.
Who is it?
In fact, it's Snoopy.
Ooh,
Ah,
Tootsika.
yeah.
Got it right first.
Snoopy from the Peanuts
Well done.
cartoon strip. So Snoopy.
Tomek said it was Snoopy as well.
Yes. I always liked the little bird in Charlie Brown.
Belarusia said it was Snoopy. I
Do you
thought
know the bird?
Belarusia had gone.
Do you know Claudia?
Yes. Well, I say Belarusia because that's what it says here.
Hmm.
I thought you'd gone to have your eggplant meal.
Yes. Ooh,
I know.
very nice.
Making Mr. Duncan jealous here.
Okay, we're losing the thread slightly. Here we go. Here's another one, Steve.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, that looks very sore. That looks like a very sore nose. That was my stomach rumbling, Mr. Duncan. I'm very hungry, so
Well,
hope
don't
we can
worry,
get a bit faster.
Steve. Don't worry, because we have some hot cross buns coming up. We
Yes.
are having hot cross buns after we finish today. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny. Hot cross buns.
Oh, if only they were 2 a penny.
Yes.
They were very expensive hot cross buns.
So whose nose is this?
Uh,
Whose nose is it?
Elizabeth Montgomery, Fernando, yes.
No, this is not. This is definitely not Elizabeth Montgomery's
From
nose.
Bewitched.
This is not Elizabeth Montgomery's nose. Definitely not.
Yes, I think people are beginning to guess correctly.
Vitas says clown. Well,
Well, it looks like
it is, I'm not. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying yes, but it's a particular clown.
Right.
Can I just say it is a clown that might be a little scary.
Right. Yes, we've had various.
Is it the Joker?
suggestions.
Is it the Joker? No. Is it Ronald Reagan?
Ronald McDonald, probably.
I was going to say it might be Ronald Reagan after he had a few drinks. Ronald McDonald. That's a good one. That is a good one. It could be. But this particular one is very scary and all the kids run away from him. So it could be Ronald McDonald.
Yes.
But it isn't. We're getting no correct answers.
Right.
This is a hard one.
Beatrice says it's a clown, but I've no idea.
If you are a fan of Stephen King, and his horror stories, you might know who this is.
Right, okay.
It is
Ooh.
Pennywise, the clown from It,
Well,
the famous horror story by Stephen King. So now you know. Pennywise, his famous red nose and scary clown face.
Yes, a few suggestions for world leaders on that one, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, I see. Really?
Yes.
Who is Oleg Popov?
Don't know.
Boris Johnson after he's had some whiskey.
Yes, we've had various.
Krusty the Clown. That was a good one.
Yes.
Krusty the Clown. That was a good guess. Here is the final one. We have one last nose to pick.
The nose of a heavy drinker, says Vitas. Yes, but their noses go red and horrible.
Yes.
So the last one, and then we can have something to eat, can we, Mr. Duncan?
We are having these. We're having some hot cross buns. Hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny. I wish they were 1 a penny, but they're not. They are quite a few pennies. Here's the next one, Steve. This is the final one before we go. Don't say anything. The final nose. It's a big nose. It looks a little bit. It looks like your nose. A little bit.
It looks like an elderly version of me.
Yes, it looks like your nose.
Is it somebody, is it royalty? It's got to be royalty.
It's a proud nose.
Yes.
Proud. It's a proud...
So this is an actual person.
Yes. Instead of a cartoon character or a scary clown. But who is it? Oleg Popov was a famous Soviet and German clown. There are many famous clowns.
Yes.
Famous. There was Beppo. Who remembers Beppo, the clown?
Is he German? Who was that? Who's that famous? When we watched?
I don't know his name.
He was the clown in that very famous clown. You know his name. You knew him because we watched that Shirley Bassey with all the. It was that German program, wasn't it? TV Wunderland, and there was a famous clown in that.
Yes, I don't know his name.
Can't remember his name.
No.
But there is a world famous, and I think he's German.
So
clown.
Who is this? Who is this person on the screen now? Their nose. Who is it?
Yes.
Please tell me.
Oh, we've got
if you
some.
know.
Yes.
Prince Philip. That's an interesting thing. Talking of Prince Philip, the Queen of England this week moved out of Buckingham Palace. She's left there. She doesn't live there anymore. Don't worry, she's not sleeping on the streets. But she does have lots and lots of other palaces as well. So it's very nice. But she's left. Buckingham Palace is now empty. She doesn't live there anymore. Very strange.
Edith says it's Camilla.
Oh, I see. What? That is Camilla. It might be. It's very similar. That could be Camilla.
People are thinking it's a royal nose. We're getting Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
Mr. Steve's mum said to Zika, thank you for that. I think you should have put a smiley face by that just to let us know that you were joking.
Mr. Steve's mother. Oh, I think I've just cracked a rib. Oh dear.
Oh dear. That's funny.
I've literally just cracked a rib.
That's the highlight of the live stream.
Oh, goodness me.
Zika, thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you, Zadzika. I think you've just broken one of my ribs.
Oh, Alessandra's going.
And we will be going soon. Charlie Chaplin, a well-known comedian.
Who said that?
It's at the bottom of the screen.
I haven't got that.
Haller.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay. Hitler. I don't think it's Hitler because there's no little brush under there. You see his little distinctive moustache. So it's not Charlie Chaplin and it's not Hitler.
Well, I can't see that. Where's that?
I think I don't know. It was there just.
Oh, someone's retracted it.
Oh, I see. I just saw Hitler, but now Hitler has disappeared.
Right.
Who is it? Who is this person? It is Boris Johnson.
Oh, somebody got that.
Boris Johnson.
Somebody got that earlier.
Yeah.
Who got that right?
So that's who it is. Boris Johnson.
VTAS.
He is-
VTAS. Well done.
He is the Prime Minister of this country. But there's something wrong with that photograph, Steve. There's something wrong. Let me just change that. That's better.
Yes.
That's more like Boris Johnson.
Oh, I see. That's why you didn't want me to refer to that earlier.
Just like Pinocchio, Boris Johnson also can't stop telling lies. And you see what's happened? His nose has got very long because of it. In fact, I don't think this is long enough. I think his nose should be much longer than this. After all the lies that this guy has been telling over
Lots
the
of
past.
world leaders have been lying to us recently.
Okay, Steve, let's not go down that road. So Boris Johnson, he was the last mystery nose.
VTAS. Well done, VTAS. You got that right.
And that's it. That's our Did you enjoy?
Right, bye. Oh,
did you enjoy the competition?
I'm going to put these in the toaster. Let's hope they haven't gone stale, because we purchased them yesterday. They feel a bit firm. They feel like they've gone a bit stale, but we will liven them up in the toaster.
They're not stale. They're fine. So that's it. That was our little contest today, which was guess the nose, and also we had our nose phrases, words, and idioms.
So we've run over, but only by a nose.
Yes. Well,
10 minutes.
I'm not sure if 10 minutes is a nose. That's almost an entire limb. That's a whole leg, I think.
Lovely to be here, Mr. Duncan, and we'll hopefully see you all next week, all being well.
I get the feeling Steve can't wait to go.
I'm hungry. My stomach's been rumbling.
I know. I've heard it. I could hear Mr. Steve's tummy
All I've had is porridge
complaining.
at about 8:30. That's all I've had all day, and a banana. So it's time for me to go and fill my stomach with some lovely food. And I think then we're going for a walk, aren't we?
I'm hoping to go for a walk because we had a lovely walk yesterday. I got 10,500 steps yesterday. So I want to do maybe about 6 or 7,000 today. And I'll be very happy. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. And have a lovely week, everyone. Enjoy learning English if that's what you're doing. And see you all again next time.
Yes, and I hope you have a nice week, Mr. Steve.
You'll know about it.
I certainly will. And I promise the next time we meet in the kitchen, I will say hello to you. And that, as they say, is that. Oh, it's almost time to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. We've been with you for, well, over 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's a long one today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope this has been useful. We've had nose idioms today. I will be back with you on Wednesday. Yes, I am with you on Wednesday, so don't worry. You don't have to wait a whole week for me to reappear, because I will be with you on Wednesday, and then we will do it all over again. So, all I have to do is say thank you very much for your company. You can watch this again if you want to watch all of this again. There will be captions available as well. See you on Wednesday. Wednesday 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm with you next. And then we will do it again. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way. In the birthplace of the English language, which is England. I'm about to go and have a hot cross bun with Mr. Steve. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and also have a good week. Stay safe, stay happy. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.